Money was never a big motivation for me, except as a way to keep score. The real excitement is playing the game. Many people are afraid to fail, so they don't try. They may dream, talk, and even plan, but they don't take that critical step of putting their money and their effort on the line. To succeed in business, you must take risks, even if you fail. That's how you learn. There has never been, and will never be, an Olympic skater who didn't fall on the ice. I don't have to believe in feng shui. I do it because it makes me money. Experience taught me a few things. One is to listen to your gut, no matter how good something sounds on paper. The second is that you're generally better off sticking with what you know. And the third is that sometimes your best investments are the ones you don't make. I've known people who had fantastic ideas, but who couldn't get the idea off the ground because they approach everything weakly. They thought that their ideas would somehow take off by themselves, or that just coming up with an idea was enough. Let me tell you something. It's not enough. It will never be enough. You have to put the idea into action. If you don't have the motivation and the enthusiasm, your great idea will simply sit on top of your desk or inside your head and go nowhere. Not teaching your kids about money is like not caring whether they eat. If they enter the world without financial knowledge, they will have a much harder go of it. Everything in life is luck. What separates the winners from the losers is how a person reacts to each new twist of fate. Get going. Move forward, aim high, plan a takeoff. Don't just sit on the runway and hope someone will come along and push the airplane. It simply won't happen. Change your attitude and gain some altitude. Believe me, you'll love it up here. Sometimes your best investments are the ones you don't make. I try to learn from the past, but I planned for the future by focusing exclusively on the present. That's where the fun is. One of the problems when you become successful is that jealousy and envy inevitably follow. There are people, I categorize them as life's losers, who get their sense of accomplishment and achievement from trying to stop others. As far as I'm concerned, if they had any real ability, they wouldn't be fighting me. They'd be doing something constructive themselves. Remember, there's no such thing as an unrealistic goal, just unrealistic time frames. Don't get sidetracked. If you do get sidetracked, get back on track as soon as possible. Ultimately, sidetracking kills you. Watch, listen, and learn. You can't know it all yourself. Anyone who thinks they do is destined for mediocrity. My style of deal-making is quite simple and straightforward. I aim very high, and then I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing to get what I'm after. My motto is, always get even. When somebody screws you, screw them back in spades. There's an old German proverb to the effect that fear makes the wolf bigger than he is, and that is true. Success comes from failure, not from memorizing the right answers. I like to think of the word focus as follow one course until successful. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to act effectively in spite of fear. When people are in a focused state, the words "I can't," "I'll try," "I'll do it tomorrow," and maybe get forced out of their vocabularies. The worst things in history have happened when people stop thinking for themselves and listen to other people and, even worse, start following other people. That's what gives rise to dictators. The most important thing in life is to love what you're doing, because that's the only way you'll ever be really good at it. Do not spend too much time planning or trying to anticipate and solve problems before they happen. That is just another kind of excuse for procrastination. Until you start, you won't know where the problems will occur. You won't have the experience to solve them. Instead, get into action and solve the problems as they arise. Most people think small because they are afraid of success, afraid of making decisions, afraid of winning. Partnerships must have loyalty and integrity at their core. Living your words, walking your talk, and talking your walk. Luck does not come around often, so when it does, be sure to take full advantage of it, even if it means working very hard. When luck is on your side, it is not the time to be modest or timid. It is the time to go for the biggest success you can possibly achieve. That is the true meaning of thinking big. As an entrepreneur, I choose my teachers carefully, very carefully. I am extremely cautious of the people with whom I spend my time and to whom I listen. Think big. You are going to be thinking anyway, so think big. Criticism is easier to take when you realize that the only people who aren't criticized are those who don't take risks. Following your convictions means you must be willing to face criticism from those who lack the same courage to do what is right. It's called the road less traveled. Be open to new information and ideas. Stay confident even when something bad happens. It is just a bump in the road. It will pass. Make every day extraordinary no matter what your job is.